Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant slash Bucktotem Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum.
Hello, Bertrum.
And this is my review for METAPHOR REFANTAZIO. So, dear viewer, if you don't mind, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. So, METAPHOR REFANTAZIO originally released in 2024, and it's just too bad I didn't play the game when it first released, because if I had, it most definitely, assuredly, inconclusively would have made my top 10 games of 2024. Why? Well, that's what we're going to bloody discuss in this video, isn't it? And just like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're probably wondering,
what is this? What is it? What is this?
Well, in a nutsack, this is a JRPG from those oh-so-talented bastards that also brought us the Persona series of video games. That means that there's turn-based battles, dungeons to explore, personas to collect, except in this game they're not called personas, they're called archetypes. And this is basically a job system. There's also a lot of social simulation elements that was previously used quite predominantly in the Persona video games. A day and night cycle, time-sensitive activities, side quests, extra bosses, extra dungeons. At first glance, this is very much Persona 2024, or in my case, 2025. Goddamn my ever-increasing size of my gaming backlog. Damn you to hell. Haha. So let's get right into it, starting with the story. This game is set in the United Kingdom of Ukraine, which is sort of a medieval fantasy realm mirroring the contemporary real world. Now, after the assassination of the former king, no, that's not a spoiler, it happens before you even get to the bloody title screen, so keep your pants on. Anyway, after the previous king is bumped off, we take control of the protagonist, who you can name whatever the hell you want, but his actual canon name is Will. Like Will Ferrell, Will Shakespeare, Last Will and Testament. You get the idea. Anyway, as Will, we decide to participate in a tournament which will see the crowning of a new king for the kingdom. Not only that, but we'll also attempt to stop the plans of the nefarious villain who happened to murder the king at the start of the game. No, again, it's not spoilers. You see all of this before you get to the bloody title screen. Keep your thong on. So this is pretty typical JRPG fare. Play as a hero, journey with allies, stop the evil dickhead, the end. Or is it? I'm not going to spoil anything about where the story goes, any of the twists and turns, but rest assured, dear viewers, the story for this game is absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. That leads me rather nicely into the good things about METAPHOR REFANTAZIO. And like I just alluded, the story. This is a grand epic affair that'll take you, 60, 70, maybe even 80 hours to finish. What starts off as a rather simple quest to save a best friend of yours turns into a quest to stop an evil dickhead who's going to destroy the world or some such nonsense. You'll meet a more colourful group of characters than you would find in a bloody circus. You'll bond with them. You'll have heart-to-hearts with them. You'll share a drink with them. You'll share a tear with them. You might even share a sausage with them. The cooking kind. Not the, more twists and turns than you would find in an M. Night Shyamalan movie taking place on a fucking roller coaster. Story, absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10. Next up on the positives list is the combat system. Now, some of you who've been on my channel for a long time will know that I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based combat, but for some reason the Persona series, and now this game, has found a way to make it incredibly fun and enjoyable, not least because it's giving you the ability to auto-battle, which means you don't have to pick out each individual action in the fight for yourself. You can just let the AI do it for you. But also, if you're running around the dungeons and you happen to be of a sufficiently high enough level, you can just whack the enemies once with your sword and not even have to go through the whole rigmarole of engaging in a turn-based battle. So, the game can be as easy as you want or as difficult as you want. If you want a real challenge, then make sure you put it on the highest difficulty. If you want to be like me and be a lazy bastard, have a more relaxed, casual, fun affair with the combat, then you can put it on storyteller difficulty, which makes a lot of sense. Storyteller. This is a fantasy video game. Not only that, but I participated in pretty much every single side quest you can do in this game, and a lot of them involve combat, and I never once, not once that I can recall, as I'm sitting here in my underpants drinking my coffee, not once do I recall feeling bored or exhausted or annoyed with the combat whatsoever. Granted, that's because I pretty much steamrolled my way through most of the combat encounters, including the final boss, but I had fun with all that steamrolling. So we've covered the story, fantastic. The characters, they're fantastic too. In fact, they might be some of my favorites in a Persona Atlas video game I've ever encountered. Not one of them got on my nerves, which is rather surprising. Usually there's some squeaky-voiced bitch in the corner constantly screaming at the top of her voice that eventually I have to, turn my game volume down a little bit, Put that bitch on mute. Yes, that's better. But, no, didn't have to do that this time. I grew rather fond of the main character and his allies, particularly Hulkenberg, captain of the Royal Guard or something. She was fantastic. That's what you need in a good JRPG, or just an RPG in general. You need a fantastic cast of characters, and this game has it. Not only that, it has an absolutely superb villain, someone you love to hate. And all of them, of course, are voiced excellently, with the exception of one character, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. What else can I say to praise this game? Well, visually, it's stunning. Amazing, but I would expect no less from the people who brought us Persona 5. That game was also very colourful and exciting to look at, blessed with superb anime cutscenes. This game is no different. Looks beautiful, ran beautifully on my PlayStation 5. What more could you ask for? Lap dance, maybe. But this game isn't giving out any lap dances. Oh well. Music. Just like the Persona games, this also has an absolutely fantastic musical score. I maybe didn't like it quite as much as I liked the music for Persona 5, but I'll probably have to play the game a few more times, listen to some of the tracks a bit more before I fully make up my mind on that one. So the story's great, the characters are great, the villain is great, the visuals are great, the music is great, it ran great. I was never bored, which is also great. In fact, that's great, double great, which is really great. Isn't that great? Shut up, Bertrum. So let's move on to the bad. And to be honest, I really don't have anything I can really say that was bad in this game, but if I had to nitpick, I would say that, yes, I mentioned earlier that most of the characters are voiced excellently. There was one or two where I maybe wouldn't have gone with the voice actor that they used. Just didn't seem to fit the character I was seeing on the screen. You know what I mean if you play the game. Also, while I admire the voice acting, some of the game isn't voice acted, some of the side quests that you do, and there's quite a lot of them, are not fully voiced, which was a little bit disappointing. Even some of the main missions had little bits and bobs here and there that weren't fully voice acted, but that's me really nitpicking. Honestly, if you're a fan of JRPGs, you love the Persona games, you liked the Persona games, you've not even tried the Persona games, but you still like JRPGs, then I highly, highly, highly recommend that you play this game. I couldn't possibly give this game a 10 out of 10. It's much too good for that. So instead, I'm just going to say that Metaphor ReFantasio is superb. That's right, superb. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my totally not improvised review for Metaphor ReFantasio. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertram.
Goodbye, Bertram.
Get your finger out your nose, Bertram. God damn it, what are you, an animal?
Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.